Henry feared that his marriage to Catherine of Aragon was cursed by God. Yet at court a young woman had stolen his heart, Anne Boleyn, the new, very fertile love of his life. Oh my! Anne, you've letters again from the king. He writes as though he were a saint descended from heaven. And he writes as though he were a poet. My mistress and friend, my heart and I surrendered to you. God help us, George, he will drown me in ink before he wins me. Better drowned in ink than in his embrace, if you ask me. You jest too freely, brother. If I did not jest, I should weep. Half the court already sighs and whispers that my sister will be queen, and half hopes I will trip and fall. I would rather be left in peace. Peace? With the king's letters piling at your door? Sister, peace fled the moment he saw you. In June 1529, a great court convened at Blackfriars. Cardinal Wolsey and Cardinal Campeggio presided. Husband and wife was summoned to speak. It is not out of dislike of the Queen, nor out of any sinister affection, that I seek this. It is the safety of the realm, the surety of the succession. But Catherine would not be silent. Before the court she fell to her knees and pleaded with Henry himself. Sir, I beseech you, for all the love that hath been between us, let me have justice and right. Take of me pity and compassion, for I am a poor woman, a stranger, born out of your dominion. I have been your true wife these 20 years. When you had me first, I'd take God to be my judge. I was a true maid without touch of man. I call God and all the world to witness that I have been to you a true, humble, and obedient wife, ever conformable to your will and pleasure. She rose, bowed, and left the court, declaring she would appeal only to Rome. The trial collapsed. So too did Wolsey's power. Return, madam, the court has not finished. My cause is with God and his vicar, not with you. I will make no more answers here. Wolsey, once Henry's great minister, was ruined. The king, who had once trusted him above all men, turned against him. Had you been true to me, my Lord Cardinal, you would have found some way to ease me of this matter. I have given you my trust, my kingdom's wealth, and what comes of it? Nothing but delay. Majesty, I am no master of Rome. The Pope dares not anger the Emperor. My hands are tied. Your hands? Then what use are they to me? Wolsey was dismissed, stripped of power. The once mighty cardinal who had boasted he could pull down kings and set them up again, now found himself brought low. Cardinal Wolsey's fall was sealed the moment he failed in the task Henry demanded above all else, persuading Pope Clement VII to grant the king freedom from Catherine of Aragon. For years, enemies at court had seethed at the power of this low-born butcher's son who dared command princes and nobles alike. When Wolsey's last desperate bid collapsed in July 1529, they struck, whispering poison into Henry's ear until the king's trust curdled into anger. By October, Wolsey stood accused of overreaching his authority as papal legate. Stripped of his honors, banished from court, he clung only to his role as Archbishop of York. In April 1530, he departed London for the distant north, a fallen Titan retreating into exile. But suspicion never left him. Rumors reached Henry that Wolsey plotted in secret, conspiring to claw his way back into favor. On November 4th, the blow fell, an arrest on charges of treason for daring to correspond with the French crown. Yet Wolsey would never stand trial. On the road back to face his king, broken in body and spirit, he passed before the month was out, his life ending in disgrace, his once great shadow already fading. So he is gone, is he? Gone without answer, without penance. The knave cheats me even in his end. He slips away before I can confront him, as if to rob me twice. Your Majesty, he bore great sorrow. Some say he repented of his pride. Pride! Pride is all he ever knew. That butcher's son, swollen with gluttony, waddling in crimson, laden with gold chains, puffed up as if he were a king himself. He strutted in his scarlet robes, aping majesty, thinking himself greater than the crown. Now he passes from me, a false servant still. He served me ill, and by God he leaves me ill. The king grieves, though his tongue knows not how to speak it. Grieve? I grieve nothing. He betrayed me living, he betrays me passing. Let no man speak his name in my hearing again, unless it be to curse him for his deceit, and for the foolish pride that made a fat priest think himself a king. When word reached Cromwell, the news struck him harder than any blow. He had risen in Wolsey's service, had eaten at his table, shared his burdens, and defended him when all others fled. Now he stood alone, a servant without a master, staring at the ruin of the man who had shaped his fortune. Cavendish, who witnessed those days, wrote of Cromwell's grief. He loved my lord, and would not forsake him in his trouble, but with weeping eyes lamented his fall. Yet Cromwell did not crumble. Where Wolsey's power had ended, Cromwell's resolve began. He would not forget the lesson that kings are merciless, courts are fickle, and survival lies in bending without breaking. In these years Henry pressed for Anne's favor, yet she, bold enough to refuse, would not yield what others had given. Why do you deny me, Anne? Others have been glad enough of my company. I would rather lose my head than my honor, sire. If you will have me, it must be as wife, not mistress. By God, you are a shrew, but a shrew I cannot do without. Then tame me lawfully, my lord, or not at all. Thus Henry, accustomed to easy victories, found himself checked and more inflamed than ever. Still, Catherine stood firm. In July 1531, Henry ordered her to leave Windsor. She refused, with words recorded by her household. "Madam, it is not meet you remain at court. You shall take another house. I am the king's true wife, and until I am no longer living, I will never call myself other." "True wife? God never blessed this marriage. You stand against your king, against England itself. My lord, I beg you, look to your conscience. I am your lawful wife, and God has made me so. To call myself other would be a lie before heaven." Henry raged, Catherine resisted, and the kingdom held its breath. In January 1533, Henry wed Anne Boleyn in secret at Whitehall. The ceremony was small, but its consequences would shake the world. "Is it your will to be man and wife?" "It is. It is. With this ring I thee wed. With all my worldly goods I thee endow. God grant the goods include a son, or we are all in trouble. Mind your tongue, George. You may jest with others, but not with your king. My lord brother means only goodwill, and so do I." That same year, Archbishop Cranmer declared Henry's marriage to Catherine void, and his union with Anne lawful. Catherine was commanded to take the title Princess Dowager of Wales. Her answer was defiant. "Madam, it is his Grace's command that henceforth you call yourself Princess Dowager of Wales, as widow of Prince Arthur. You shall not presume to style yourself Queen.
I am the king's true wife, and until I am no longer on this earth, I will never call myself other. Madam, his majesty wills it. I was crowned his wife, I have borne him a child, and before God and the world I will live, and my life will end as queen." Thus Catherine of Aragon clung to her crown in name, if not in power. With Wolsey gone, few dared touch the king's great matter. Yet Thomas Cromwell, once Wolsey's man, now rose from the ashes of his master's fall. He saw what others feared. If Rome would not bend, England itself must change. "Your Grace has sought the Pope's favor many years, yet you find only delay. Might it not be asked whether this kingdom, ancient and sovereign, has the right to judge such causes within itself? Speak plain, Cromwell. Do you tell me I need no pope, that I am enough, king and priest both?" "Sire, I say only this. England is an empire, ruled by one supreme head, your Grace. Why should Spaniards or Italians meddle in our succession? Let your Parliament declare what God has already willed. Ha! So Wolsey failed me, but you will not. Yes, Cromwell, I like your boldness. You speak like a man, not a coward hiding behind Rome's skirts. Make it law, make it so no foreign bishop shall have voice in England again." And so Cromwell began his work. By pen, by Parliament, by statute, he forged the tools that would sunder England from Rome. Where Wolsey had begged, Cromwell commanded. Where Wolsey had fallen, Cromwell rose. On the 1st of June, 1533, Anne Boleyn was crowned Queen of England. The streets of London were decked with tapestries, fountains ran with wine, and yet many among the people stayed silent. "Your Grace, the people seem struck dumb, not a cheer among them. Do you not see? They gaze at her in wonder. Her beauty has taken their tongues. Or their loyalty has." Still the coronation proceeded with splendor. In Westminster Abbey, Anne was anointed and crowned with the ancient rites. "And as Solomon was anointed king by Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet, so be ye anointed, blessed, and consecrated queen over this people. God has done us great honor this day, for we are delivered of doubt. My lady sister, I must now bow to you twice, once as kin and once as queen. Then bow only once, and let it be to God." And so Anne Boleyn was crowned queen. Yet beneath the glittering crown lay uneasy ground. One queen defied, another enthroned, and the kingdom stood on the edge of a storm that would break the bond between England and Rome forever.